We are animals of words. All the words that were and all the words that will be lie sleeping in our bodies. This is what I've always said. And I realized the other day that I don't think that these words are actually sleeping in our bodies. I think they're clustered in little parades and little crowds and maybe little sleeping places here and there. But we are completely, in my mind and in my work, completely made up of language. This is Dickinson. Your thoughts don't have words every day. They come a single time, like signal, esoteric sips. I started to make dresses and suits because, despite making the jokes beforehand, I'm actually a little shy. And I thought how great it would be if I could make clothing in my artwork that would be an armor, that would be a surrogate for myself. If in my closet I could have language and dresses and suits that would stand for me. This life-size dress is unreadable if she's like this, and is only readable when she's open. I heard as if I had no ear until a vital word came all the way from life to me, and then I knew I heard. Emily Dickinson. Clothing, like language, selectively conceals and exposes at the same time. This little suit is really a suit of armor. And do you know that photograph by Diane Arbus of the little boy with the hand grenades in the park? Well, I just thought he really needed some protection. So I made this suit of armor for him. And then, all right, well, so I also thought for those of us who work with our hands, which I would imagine is about 100% of the people in this room, how nice it would be if I made little suitcases of armor for our hands, so that after a long day of work, wherever you're working, you could fold your hands up in these gloves like a kind of protection. And perhaps, okay, and so perhaps this is what these copper hands are protecting, these paper hands that are emitting language like a kind of blood. And I used to live in Canal Street in New York, and I would walk up and down the street and collect newspapers from all different parts of the world with all different kinds of language on it. And I attached them to this wire dress, thinking I would make a kind of Tower of Babel in dress form. And metaphorically, anyway, I wanted to light it on fire. And then I made this dress when I moved to India, where I lived for 2 years. And this is a dress made out of Asian paper and stained with tea and embroidered with horsehair, with the language again of Dickinson. A word made flesh is seldom and tremblingly partook. I often thought that if you were to put all of our skin colors in a blender, that maybe this is the color that would come out. And this is an answer to the question that often comes up, like, why don't you use your own words in your work? And I think that's because of these unfortunate metaphors that I use. And putting all your skin colors in a blender is not that attractive. So, and then I thought I would make her a husband. So I made her a husband, and here he is. And he also is embroidered with horsehair. And I went out with this guy, Marvin, in my youth, and I had always thought that the most intense gender differences were the pubic areas. But when I went out with Marvin, who weighed 240 pounds, he had hair from his ankles all the way up to his neck. You know, there are guys like, yeah, okay, there we go. And when I give this talk to my mother, I say like, postgraduate school. Anyway, and and being a fairly pink and hairless person myself, that it really made a really deep impact on me. And I've done a really dedicated study of male hair patterns since then. And I've come to think very affectionately of men as snowflakes, because no two are alike.